Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today we're going to be going over all of my favorite LEGO sets from every theme in 2021. This is of course going to include only the sets that have been officially revealed by LEGO so far, so the majority of these are going to be the ones releasing in winter of 2021, and then there may be a few others that are releasing at other dates. I won't be listing all of the release dates for each of these, because that would make the video be even longer than it's probably already going to be, because we're going to go through all of the themes that do have sets that have been officially revealed. There's a few where we know about the sets or we've seen pictures but they're not of the greatest quality, but I want to keep it to all the ones with full official reveals so then we can look at high quality pictures, and I'll be picking, as I said, one set from every theme and we'll be just discussing it, and these aren't in any particular order. I'm actually going to be doing it by theme, probably in alphabetical order, but it's not actually like a ranking like the last one's my favorite or anything like that. So without further ado, let's get straight into it here with the first set. Alright, so the first set that we're going to be covering is from the LEGO art line, and this one is going to be set number 31202, Disney's Mickey Mouse right here. This one will include 2,658 pieces and will be retailing in the US for $119.99 and then in Canada for $149.99. And I want to say something as well, that all of these sets are not ones that I actually intend to pick up, but it's just if I had to pick a favorite from each theme, these are the ones that it would be as my favorite picks, so keep that in mind as well. It's not ones, this isn't like a wish list for 2021, it's just more so of a favorites list, because I thought about doing a wish list, but it would honestly just consist of all of the new Ninjago sets, so I didn't feel that was really worth making a video about. But with this, we get a little bit more variety, and you get to hear my thoughts on a variety of different themes. So this Disney Mickey Mouse one, I mean, for the LEGO art line, it's kind of sparse pickings. It's kind of either this or the Hogwarts crest, and I don't think the Hogwarts crest is necessarily bad, especially when it's in its combined stage, but I just feel like the singular builds are a bit weak, and with the LEGO art, I feel like they're expecting a lot of you to purchase like multiples of a set that is already so expensive, so I think it's a little bit bad to kind of just judge it based on that full build, and I feel like the individual ones should be good on their own, and that's the case here with the Disney ones. It's honestly one of my favorite LEGO art sets thus far. I think they did a great job of recreating Mickey and Minnie, and I like the combined one as well. It isn't anything too spectacular, it's just putting both of them together, but I still think it looks really great and overall has a really nice design. Alright, now we've got LEGO BrickHeadz here, and for this theme I chose set number 40466, the Chinese New Year's Pandas, and I think that this is honestly a really cool BrickHeadz pack here. I love that we're getting 3 BrickHeadz within it. We get baby panda number 1 and then number 2, and then we get a full-size panda as well, and I really like the scenery build also. It's just kind of keeping up with how fantastic the Chinese New Year's sets are, so even when it's in a BrickHeadz form, I think it's still really great, and I think just overall, this is a really cool looking BrickHeadz. Now we've got the theme LEGO City, and there are a ton of sets to pick from. Of course, there is a huge wave releasing in winter of 2021, but the one that I chose is set number 60290, the Skate Park. This one includes 195 pieces and will retail in the US for $39.99 and then $49.99 in Canada, and I love this set. I think it has a really fantastic design to it. I really love how they're utilizing the new road plates that they've developed, and I think that it's a really good use of it here for the base of this skate park. I love the inclusion of the minifigures and specifically the inclusion of the guy in the wheelchair. I think that is so cool with LEGO promoting that. I think that's really fantastic to see, and I absolutely love how the piece came out, and also the color scheme of it as well. I think that looks really great. I think all of the minifigures look really fantastic, and I like that we get a little side vehicle as well, which I think looks really great, so that's cool to have included. Also seems like they're selling some sort of energy drink, I would say, so I think that's awesome to see as well. I like the little sticker as well with the shark riding the skateboard. I think that's pretty cool to have included there also. I think just overall it's a really well-rounded city set, and you don't get that too often, or at least it feels like you're always getting repeat sets in city, and I feel like this seems like something new here, even though I know we've got in skate parks, but just the way they're handling it with this set, I think it's really well done. Now we've got the LEGO Classic theme here, and honestly with this one I thought it was going to be challenging to pick a set just because I don't really pay too much attention to the LEGO Classic theme as a whole, just because it never really has anything that really appeals to me. It's good if you want to get a bulk amount of colorful pieces, but it's never really stood out to me too much. But with this set in particular, the one that I chose, set number 11013, the Creative Transparent Brick set here, this one is fantastic. It includes 500 pieces and will retail in the US for $29.99 and then in Canada for $39.99, and I love the idea of this one. I think it's so awesome that you're getting a bulk amount of translucent pieces. Those are some of my favorite types of pieces in LEGO sets, and I feel like it's always a nice treat when you get some of them. And even the suggested build ideas that they have, I think some of them look really great. Like I love the little fish with the little bit of like coral around it. I think that looks fantastic. The wizard as well looks really great. They just have a very nice variety of different builds going on here, and of course you can make your own creations and even integrate these pieces into whatever you want, any other builds that you might have going on. So it just feels really great, and it feels like you're getting a good piece count here with some really great pieces as well. And you also get a teal brick separator, so I would count that as a win. Alright, now we're moving on to LEGO Creator here, and for this one, I honestly thought at first I was going to wind up picking the Cyber Drone set just because of the amazing minifigure inclusion for a really great price, but with this theme, I actually wound up going with set number 31118, and this one is the Surfer Beach House. This one includes 564 pieces, and it retails in the US for $49.99 and then $69.99 in Canada, and I've honestly heard a mixture of opinions on this set. I've heard some people saying it feels a little bit repetitive and like there's nothing too new being done in this set, but for me personally, maybe it's just because I don't really collect Creator too much, but I actually really do love the design of this set, and I think actually that all three builds are pretty strong. I think they have some really cool designs to them. I like the lighthouse. I think that that's a really great looking build. I definitely applaud them being able to do that, and I like the little ship as well. I think that looks great. And then in the other build, I like how it's a little pool going on. I know some people have complained that it's a little small, and I will admit that, but with the pieces that you have, I think it's pretty well done there. But I'd have to say the main build is probably my favorite one. It just looks so cool, and I love the amount of colors. It just really bursts off of the picture here, of course, because I don't have the set physically, but I do like this one quite a bit, and I don't collect LEGO Creator, but if I were to get one, this would definitely be it. Next up here we have Creator Expert, or the 18 plus line here, and for this one I'm actually only left with one option, so there isn't too much selection here, or really any selection at all, but this one is set number 10278, the Police Station. This one includes 2,923 pieces and retails in the US for $199.99 and then in Canada for $269.99, and I think this is a pretty darn good modular set. I've heard some people saying it looks very bland, but I honestly have to say I like the amount of cool details in it. I did do a separate video sort of going over this one when it was officially revealed, but now I'll just give you my sort of quick and concise thoughts here. I think that all three levels of it look pretty good. I like the little story that they've kind of constructed here with the thief kind of trying to steal some donuts. I think that's really cool. The interior looks great. I love the little cork board that we get, and I think the minifigure selection is pretty great as well. I would have to say another cool inclusion also is the bakery. I can't go without mentioning that. I think it's a very cool inclusion there, and I think it's very well integrated into the set. And I also like the little soap and suds sign as well, kind of a reference to the bank as well, that modular set. So it's cool to kind of see that also included here. So I would just say overall it's a really well done modular, which I can understand the complaints for, but I still think it looks really great and will be integrated really well with the other modulars. Alright, now we've got the LEGO DC Superheroes theme here, and there's actually only one set thus far that's going to be releasing in 2021 that we have a full reveal for, and this one is set number 40453, Batman vs. the Penguin and Harley Quinn. It is an accessory set that will retail for $14.99 USD and then $19.99 in Canada, so a little bit of a price markup there for the accessory set, which is okay. I feel like it's still a decent enough price with what we're getting here, and from left to right, right, we have the new Batman minifigure here. Now, I'm sure this one won't stay exclusive to the set for too long because we do have another Batman set coming out in spring of 2021, and I would bet that this one's going to be the figure included in that set, but I really love it right here. I think that it has a really great torso print, and then also some really great legs as well, which do look similar to the ones in the DC CMF series, but they are slightly different. And of course, I just like the design overall because it's kind of reminiscent of the original 2006 Batman gray design, so I like that quite a bit. Then we get Penguin and Harley Quinn in the set, and I would say Harley Quinn's my favorite part of this set as a whole because I didn't want to have to get the set that she's included in that's like $70 in Canada, because that's a bit of a hefty price to pay just for one minifigure, at least just for the one reason why I wanted the set. So I'm glad that I can get her in a more affordable set like this. And then the Penguin looks great as well, of course, coming from the 4+ set that he was previously in, but now with a new duck boat build here, which I do like the look of it. Of course, nothing spectacular and nothing really new there, but still it is pretty cool. I like the TNT on both sides of it, and I'd say just overall it's a pretty good accessory set for a really reasonable price. Alright, now we've got LEGO Disney here, and I don't really collect the Disney line too much. I've collected some of the minifigures, but for most of the sets, they are in the mini doll format, so it's never really appealed to me. Kind of the same issue with Friends. I don't blame it on the builds, but I blame it more just on the fact that they're mini dolls, but I get the mini dolls do have a place in LEGO, and I don't absolutely hate them. It's just that I'm primarily a minifigure collector, but for this one, we have set number 43192, Cinderella's Royal Carriage. This one will retail for $39.99 in the US and then $49.99 in Canada, and I honestly really love the design of this set. I think that the carriage looks really great and it has a good sort of structure to it and also a nice size to it as well. I like the two sort of mini dolls included as well. Even though they're not really up my alley, I can still appreciate the designs for both of them as well. With Cinderella and the Fairy Godmother, they look great. The horses as well look really fantastic. I like the designs of them and on the Nexonite shield as well. I'm not sure if that's a sticker or printing, but I like it nonetheless, and I think just overall it looks really great. It's kind of just bursting with that Disney princess sort of magic in it, and I really like that and kind of look for that in these Disney sets, so I would have to say it's definitely my favorite. Alright, now we move on to the LEGO Dots theme here, and for this one I honestly thought that there wasn't going to be too much that was going to really pique my interest, but honestly I was very surprised, happily surprised might I say, because I chose set number 41926. This one is the Creative Party Kit, and this one includes 622 pieces, and it is going to retail in the US for $24.99 and then $29.99 in Canada, and that is just excellent value. I am not really a person who judges LEGO sets based off of the price per piece, but I definitely can acknowledge here that that is some fantastic value that you are getting here, and I really love the idea of this set. I honestly really love the design of the cupcakes. Now I see that we are getting stickers in this set, which is a little bit of a disappointment because normally Dots is known for its really great prints, so that's a little disappointing. It might have been why they were able to price this set at such a reasonable price, but still I can definitely acknowledge that there are some really cool builds here. I love the integration of how you can kind of use the cupcakes as storage. I think that's a really cool idea as well, and I just love the variety of colors here. That's one thing about Dots that I can definitely acknowledge, is that it has a fantastic color scheme, really vibrant, and I can definitely appreciate that a lot. So I'd say overall it's surprisingly a really fantastic set. Alright, now we move on to LEGO Friends here, and for this one I honestly thought I might have a hard time picking a set here because I don't necessarily dislike the LEGO Friends line. I actually have a few sets from the theme myself that I've gotten on some really great deals, but it's always just kind of been a matter of the color scheme for Friends builds, because the actual builds themselves I feel like are very, very well done, but it kind of comes down to the color scheme with these. Most of the time you're getting really bright color schemes with pink, purple, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that because of course trying to appeal to a specific demographic, and that's a good way of doing that, but it just kind of closes off the rest of your audience as well. But with this set here, the one that I've chosen, which is set number 41448, the Heart Lake City Movie Theater, I absolutely love this build here. This one includes 451 pieces, and it will retail in the US for $49.99 and then $69.99 in Canada, which I do have to say the price feels a little bit steep cheap for what we're getting here, but I still really love the build here. I'm trying not to judge it too much based on the price, because most of the time I get most of my sets on sale, and even though I probably won't wind up picking this set, it is still my favorite of the Friends ones. I think it just has such a cool concept to it. We don't get to see too many movie theaters in Lego, and it's cool to get to see this now built here. I think it just has a really unique design to it. I've always loved how you're able to kind of put like a phone as well in front of the screen to have them actually watch something, and of course in the image they're watching the Lego Friends show, but I think that it is a pretty cool idea and a cool concept overall, and I would say with the color scheme they didn't go overboard here. I feel like they kept it pretty minute, which is really nice to see as well. I like the cinema sign that now playing as well, looks really great, and the 3 mini dolls are pretty good as well. Nothing too phenomenal, but I would say overall it's still a really great Lego Friends set. Alright, now we've got the Lego Harry Potter theme here, and with this new wave of sets that is coming in winter of 2021, I'm a little bit mixed on it. I feel like you either kind of like are in the middle, or you hate it, or you love it. It's kind of just a really weird scenario here, because it's sort of a new concept that they're doing here, specifically for the Harry Potter line. Of course, we've seen sort of storybook sets, but now we're seeing like it integrated into this, and I don't know if it works as well. I honestly couldn't really speak, of course, for the wide audience here, but for me personally it was kind of difficult to choose one, but if I had to, the one that I would choose is set number 76383, the Hogwarts Moments Potions class. This one includes 271 pieces and will retail in the US for $29.99 and then in Canada for $39.99, and I have to say as well, that feels like a bit of a steep price for what you're getting here. You're only getting 3 minifigures and then only 271 pieces, so I know it's a licensed theme, so it's going to be a little bit more pricey, but still feel like that's a little bit much. But out of the storybook sets, if I'm taking away all the negativity that I have for these, I actually do think it's pretty good. It's definitely, as I have it here on the list, my favorite of the bunch. I think it has a cool sort of backdrop to it. I really do love all of the potions in the background. I think that adds a nice little pop of color. I like the sand green as well. I'm kind of just partial to that color in Lego, or bias I should say, and I think that that came out looking really great as well. Then in the realm of the minifigures, I would have to say that Snape is definitely the standout here, but I do like that we get Draco and Seamus. I feel like they're not bad necessarily, and I do like their torsos quite a bit, but I would just have to say overall the concept, I thought I was interested in it when it was actually at the concept stage, but now that I've actually seen the designs of them, I don't know if I necessarily need to get them. I like the minifigures, but it's not really like making me really want the sets, and I actually do collect a fair bit of the Harry Potter sets, but I don't feel like it would really integrate well with the rest of my builds. It's not like it's a separate part of like Hogwarts that you can sort of combine to it, or at least combine it and make it look natural to it, or make it look similar to the builds that we've already had. So it's kind of a little bit disappointing, but still, I'm sure if you wind up getting all of these, they're going to look really cool together. I definitely really love the front covers of all of them, I must say. So I do like the concept, but it's just kind of the execution where it falls apart for me. Okay, now for the LEGO Marvel Superheroes line here. There were a lot of new sets that were revealed, of course, but the one that I chose is set number 76171, the Miles Morales mech armor. This one includes 125 pieces and will retail, as the other mechs did, for $9.99 in the US and then $13.99 in Canada. And this is by far my favorite Marvel set for 2021, at least thus far. I love the new Miles Morales minifigure here. I think it's so great how it's kind of taking inspiration from Spider-Verse, even a little bit from the Spider-Man PS4 game with the bodega suit. I think that that's kind of cool inspiration for it. I love the web pieces in the sort of semi-translucent blue. I think that that looks great and adds a nice pop of color to the mech. And I might be biased here, but I mean, black and red is one of my favorite combinations, and I love how it looks on this. I think the mech looks like a really nice sleek build as well that works really well, because that's always one of my main complaints with most of the superhero sets, is like, do they necessarily need this vehicle or this mech? But I feel like with this, it's integrated pretty well with the minifigure, and it's got a good build overall. I would say I like the chest as well with the Miles Morales symbol, but yeah, overall I would say it has a really nice build with a fantastic figure. Alright, now we move on to the LEGO Minecraft theme here, and for this one I've chosen set number 21164, the Coral Reef. This one includes 92 pieces and retails in the US for $9.99 and then in Canada for $13.99, and I honestly like the Minecraft theme, but I don't really collect much of it, and I honestly kind of can't explain why. It's probably more so just budget-wise, because I kind of just try to aim for getting most of the Ninjago sets, and then it's kind of just whatever else goes on a good deal is kind of what I wind up picking up. So I've stumbled across a few Minecraft sets on some good sales that I've added to my collection, but I've just never really dived into the theme. But I do like this set because it is an affordable price. You're getting two really great figures in it. Of course, the drowned minifigure just looks fantastic. I really love the printing on that figure, and then it's nice getting Alex in this set. I do like how she comes with a green helmet as well, which looks really nice. The puffer fish as well looks really fantastic, and I like the bright colors of the build as well. It definitely makes it pop a lot. So I like this set overall, and I just like it as well because it's so affordable. So I would say it's my favorite Minecraft set thus far for 2021. Alright, now we move on to the LEGO Minions, the Rise of Gru theme here, and we have set number 7550, the Minions Kung Fu Battle. This one includes 310 pieces and will retail in the US for $39.99 and then for $49.99 in Canada. And of course, these sets wound up getting delayed to 2021 as a result of everything going on in the world, and with the film being delayed as well, of course, they wanted to match up the release of the majority of the sets with the release of the film, so thus came the delay. But I would have to say I like this set quite a bit. I think it has a really cool and unique design to it, and I of course don't know what the story kind of beats are going to be in this set or how it's gonna tie into the actual film, but I really love the setting here. It kind of reminds me of the Chinese New Year sets, and I really love the designs of those, so I was going to obviously really like the design of this one. I think the Minions figures as well look really great. I was kind of nervous with how LEGO was going to translate them because I felt the Mega Bloks, who previously had the license, did a really fantastic job on that sort of part with them, kind of making the actual sculpts for the characters, but I think that LEGO did a great job of nailing it as well. I really love the looks of all of them, and kind of in this specific set, the Kill Bill sort of inspired look as well for two of the characters, so that's nice to see. Also, I like the colors of the build. I'd say just overall, it's a really cool looking set. Alright, now we come to what is probably going to be the most controversial pick here on this video, and let me tell you, this was a very difficult decision to make, and this is regarding the LEGO Ninjago theme here. Now, of course, LEGO Ninjago is having its 10th anniversary in 2021, so we have got a plethora of sets that have been revealed, and I'm not including the Season 14 sets here because they haven't had a really full official reveal. We've seen them in the official LEGO catalog, of course, so I have commented on the photos that we've seen, but it's not a full official reveal, so I didn't want to include it here, and I kind of wanted to stick to kind of early in 2021 sets, so I'm going with the Legacy theme here. And of course, immediately you would think I'm probably going to pick the Tournament Development set because you're getting the 3 new Elemental Masters and just a really great build overall, and I will say and acknowledge that that is an amazing set. It's fantastic, but I chose a different set here, and the one that I went with is set number 71738. This set is Zane's Titan Mech Battle, and this one includes 840 pieces and will retail in the US for $59.99 and then in Canada for $79.99, and I really love the design of this set. I think honestly it's got to be one of my favorite Ninjago mechs. I just absolutely love the design of it, and I never had the opportunity to get the original one, so I'm so glad that they've redone it here in Legacy. I really love the color scheme of it. I think it looks really sleek with that sort of like gray and white together, and then with the highlights of the blue. I think that looks fantastic, and the mini figures as well are really great. Now for the actual like Golden Legacy figure, of course the limited edition one, we get Jay in this set, and he is not my favorite one. I actually did do a ranking of all of the LEGO Ninjago Legacy 2021 minifigures, and you'll see in that video that he is not my number 1 figure, but he's still a really good one. I know there are complaints about him that he looks a little bit weird with the colors, but I still do like the look of the figure, at least in my personal opinion. And then Zane looks amazing. I love this figure so much, and it makes me so excited for the future, hopefully other Legacy 3 minifigures. I'm so excited to see what the other ninja look like. And then the ghosts as well are a really great inclusion. Also, I really love them, especially with that new coloring for the Legacy 1 ninja hood. I think that looks really great. It's just a fantastic mech build, and I really do love this set a lot. And it might also be that I really love Season 5 of Ninjago, and I never got the opportunity to get any of those sets, so it might also be why I'm more excited for this one, but I just have to say, it's my favorite of the Ninjago ones. Alright, next up here we've got the LEGO seasonal theme, and the set that I chose for this one is 80107, the Spring Lantern Festival. This one includes 1,793 pieces and will retail in the US for $119.99 and then $159.99 in Canada, and this is a spectacular build. It honestly makes me think of like a mock that someone would build. Not saying that mocks are always better than actual LEGO models that they produce, but I just think it kind of has that vibe to it with the openness of the set. It feels like it could be a part of a modular as well, which is really cool. Just a smaller scale one, of course, not as much of a height for it because it's not really a building necessarily, but I think it just is so great. I think they did an amazing job as well of making it feel like a very lively and filled sort of festival within this park, and I really love that aspect as well. And there are some amazing minifigures in this set. We have one kid who has a torso with the Monkey King logo on it as well, which is really fantastic to see, so I really do love that a lot. And also one of the people in the set is wearing a really great Christmas sweater, which is actually a fun fact that I based my Christmas sweater on my custom minifigure off of this minifigure here, so I think that's really cool as well, and it was just one that really stuck out to me, so that's why I decided to use that design for myself. And I think that it's just a great set, such amazing architecture in it. I love the translucent pieces on the ox as well that is in the park. I think that looks really fantastic, and it does have a light up brick inside of it as well, which is really cool to see. And just some of the prints overall are just really amazing. I love one of the statues as well, which has some fantastic printing on the torso. I think it's just so well done that it really does excite me a lot. So there's just so many great aspects to this set, and it really does feel like it earns its price point with this one. I feel like the piece count is really great for the price as well, minifigure selection, and just the build itself. So overall, I would say it's definitely my favorite seasonal set for 2021. Next up here we've got LEGO Speed Champions, and for this one I was actually left with only one option, and it is a polybag because there's only one set that's been officially fully revealed as of yet, and this one is set number 30343, the Speed Champions McLaren Elva, and I think it is a very good polybag. Now if it was up against like an actual like minifigure scale set, I don't think it would really stand much of a chance, but since it's my only option, I think it is pretty good. I felt like they did a good job of kind of making it in this micro scale. I like how you can see the seats as well, which is kind of cool with those two white pieces, and I do like it overall. I think it's a pretty darn good polybag. Alright, now for the Star Wars theme, I'm going to be choosing set number 75299, the Trouble on Tatooine set, the brand new Mandalorian set of course, which includes 276 pieces and will retail for $29.99 USD and then $39.99 Canadian, and this one of course includes that brand new Mando minifigure, which is in his Beskar armor, and it is just a fantastic looking figure, such a well done job, and an overdue one as well for minifigure wise. We've been waiting to get this one, and I am super excited that it has finally arrived. I love of course being able to get the child as well in what is now the cheapest set you can get him in, so I think that's really great also. And then we also have just a really fantastic build as well. I think that it's really well done. I honestly really love Mando's swoop bike. I think that's a really great build, and then the crossbow as well, or the ballista, looks really great also. I just say that overall I feel like it's a really well balanced set, and for once it feels like it's a well-priced Star Wars set, which is very nice to see. A nice breath of fresh air there. Even with this entire new Star Wars wave for 2021, we can see the sets are a bit more scaled down and a bit more reasonably priced, and I feel like that follows that as well without compromising on the design. I feel like it's done a great job of capturing this specific scene here and doing it accurately, so I can appreciate that a lot, and I just gotta say overall it's a fantastic set. Alright, now for the LEGO Super Mario theme, I've chosen set number 71380, and this one is the Master Your Adventures set, which includes 366 pieces, and will retail in the US for $59.99 USD, and then $69.99 in Canada, and this set was actually the one that was at the top of my list when I did my LEGO Super Mario 2021 Worst to First video, so if you want to hear my ranking for the rest of those sets, then be sure to go check that out, but for now we're going to discuss this set here, and I really like this set. I honestly think it's a really good one. The only minor complaint that I have about this one is that we don't get any sort of playable character like Mario. I was really hoping that this would be the perfect opportunity to finally put Luigi in a set, which just would have been amazing. But instead, we're just left with getting a few of the sort of mob characters who you can kind of go up against, and they do show that you can use Mario with the set, of course. It's just that you'll have to pick up the starter pack as well, or the starter course, I suppose. And then the actual builder pipe that you get in this one is an exclusive one here, which is actually giving you 30 extra seconds of time while doing the course, which is a pretty cool feature there. And it does show that you can sort of combine them as well, which is really cool with some of the other sets also, which of course is the main sort of thing with these Mario sets, is making your own giant course, which is probably the aspect that I like the most, and I just like how much you're getting in this set. I like Larry as well. I think he looks pretty great and goofy. I felt like they did a good job of translating him into Lego form, and I just gotta say that overall it's a really cool Mario set. Alright, now the final theme that we have here for this video is LEGO Technic, and I honestly never really expected that I'd be talking about Technic in this much of an in-depth way, so for this one on the list, if you've ever wanted to hear my opinions on Technic, now is going to be the time, and this one is set number 42118, the Monster Jam Gravedigger. This one includes 212 pieces and will retail for $19.99 USD, and then $24.99 in Canada, and I think this is honestly a pretty good set. Now, I'm still not a fan of Technic, and once again I want to make it clear that all the sets I've listed in this video are not ones that I plan on buying necessarily. There are some of them that I do plan on purchasing, but it's just not all of them. It's just my favorite one. If I had to pick a favorite from every theme in 2021 from the sets that have been revealed thus far, and I think this one is pretty good. I mean, for what it is, I feel like they did a good job of kind of replicating that Gravedigger design, and I think my favorite part is just the color scheme of it, and I actually had the opportunity to, quite a few years back, go see a Monster Jam show live, and I got to see Gravedigger, so that's kind of cool as well. A little bit of nostalgia there, so it's cool for that factor. It is a pullback car as well, and a 2-in-1 build also. Now, I'd have to say the secondary build is nothing to write home about. I think it actually looks kind of messy, and that's always been my issue with Technic, is how it always feels like a lot of different colors are showing, and it just looks a little messy and mechanical to me, and not like a complete build. I can understand the appeal, and don't get me wrong, I think that some of the builds are really well done and very cool, so I do have a high appreciation for the theme, but it's just not something for me. But I still have to say, this is a really good set. Alright, now that's going to conclude every LEGO theme in 2021 that has sets revealed thus far and what my favorites are. Be sure to let me know down below what some of your favorites are as well, and if you agree with some of the picks that I had. And keep in mind as well, once again, these aren't sets that I necessarily plan on picking up. Honestly, if I go through all of these, the only ones that I really plan on picking up are the Ninjago one that I mentioned, and then probably the LEGO seasonal one, that Chinese New Year one, and then the Spider-Man one as well with the Miles Morales mech. I do like that one. So out of those, it's probably those three, and potentially the Mandalorian one. It really depends. I'm thinking about waiting, because the only reason I'd really want it is for that Mandalorian minifigure, and I feel like that's going to come in a set later on, and maybe one with a build that I more would like in my collection, or maybe with another cool minifigure. So that one's kind of an if or a maybe, but there's kind of 4 in total that I'm interested in out of all of these sets. But now I want to hear all of your thoughts down below in the comment section, and if you did enjoyed this video, I would highly appreciate it if you could leave a like and also subscribe as well. So thanks so much. And that's going to conclude this video here, so I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.